downtown Nassau. It's Sofa Talk with Sylvian. It's Guy Talk. Today's topic: where are the real women?
Hey everyone, you're watching Sofa Talk and I'm your host Sylvian. And today it's all about Guy Talk. Where are the real women? You know, constantly men have been complaining that there aren't any real women around and all of that crazy stuff. But today, joining me on the sofa, I have Stephen Camp and Maz
Joshin.
Look how you have to correct me already. And Maz Josh. Say it again.
Joshin. I anticipated that.
Yeah. You know, like you was just
I was
ready
ready.
to help me with the last
ready.
name. All right, so Stephen, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, Stephen Kemp. I was born and raised in Nassau. Grew up working in the family business on Robinson Road. It used to be called Peter Kemp Liquor Store. That's where I learned most of my work ethic. From there, I basically always dreamt about being a pharmacist. Graduated from St. John's College in 2005. Got my degree, my first degree in Nova Southeastern University, Bachelor's in Science. And from there, I went to do the first cohort of pharmacy students in COB, who did a co-signed agreement with University of Technology Jamaica.
Okay.
So back in 2012, I graduated with my degree in pharmacy. And from there, I've been practicing for 7 years for the private and public sector. And on my spare time, I basically just like fixing cars and stuff like that, working on my engine and stuff, my project car, and that's about it.
All right, awesome. Maz, tell me about yourself.
Well, I am a 29-year-old illustrator and animator.
So that means you could draw me after the show?
I could draw you for small feet.
Okay.
But I also do comic books. I have about 5 books printed. Working on my 6th currently, and keep it brief. I'm just an all-around fun.
No, you can't keep it brief after you say you have 5 comic books. Tell us about the comic books.
Well, I have 2 series now, one called Supernova and the other called Canyon. Supernova is about these superpowered females, which is
Girl power.
interesting,
Love
right?
it.
And Canyon is also about a young lady who was banished from a village for bearing child out of wedlock. Side note, I also created a show called Nassau Rock. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's an animated TV series that we're trying to get off the ground. So, yeah, I'm just an artist.
So where can we find Nassau Rock?
You can find Nassau Rock on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the show itself, we're going to be premiering the pilot episode sometime next year. I can't give out the exact date yet, but that's our hope. Anyway.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys. So you're all ready to hold it down for the pilot. So all right, you know what? Let's take a sip.
Let's take a sip. Take a sip.
Because we're about to dive in. For those of you that are tuning in, share the video because Guy Talk is about to go down. So guys, you have to keep it honest.
Sure.
Keep it 100.
All right.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
no holding back.
No.
All right. So, have any of you ever paid someone $40 to have sex? I'm joking. Maz, really? All right. So what are 3 amazing characteristics every woman should have, in your opinion, when you identify a real woman?
Real woman?
Maz.
Okay. I'll start by saying ambitious.
Okay, she has to be ambitious.
I like a woman with ambition. You know, it shows that you have drive and determination into something that you believe in. I also, this one's this is very visual. A woman who keeps herself well. Okay. You know,
well kept.
Well kept. It's important to me.
Reasonable so far.
Yeah, it's important. And the last one is a woman who's kind.
Okay.
A kind woman.
Okay.
You know.
So ambitious, well kept, kind.
Yeah,
those are your top 3.
That's my 3 right there. I think that's good.
For me, I'm going to start off with she has to be classy.
Classy.
Yeah. If she doesn't have that, then my
classy kid is that different, or what's your definition of classy then?
She just has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a look she has?
Just a look by the way she walks, how she carries herself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I would say second for me is she has to be passionate about something.
Okay.
I'm very big on that.
Okay.
Once a lady shows that she's passionate, she gets completely engulfed by it. and it brings out the best in her.
Okay.
And I
So
seek
classy,
for,
passion.
you're right. And then finally, I got to go with miles against kind.
Okay,
Yeah,
kind.
kindness
All
definitely.
right. So every guy wants a kind woman. Y'all don't want the one.
No,
Oh, there.
no, we wanna-
Nobody wants that.
All right. So my next question to you: do you feel pressured as a man in 2019 to be providers?
Assuming financially,
Mhm.
right?
Providing, but being a provider is more than financial.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll just say what financially. I mean, we both are the rule.
Right.
I think if we're not providing financially, then what else are we doing?
Okay.
What other role do you have as a man?
Well, that's different because what I'm hearing is that now guys are really complaining about providing basic stuff.
Well, let me say
Well,
this much.
yeah.
I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I grew up feeling that a man should take pride
Right.
in providing for his family. I
Right.
believe men should lay down their lives for the happiness and the betterment of their family. However, nowadays, I understand, I won't say I agree with other guys who believe that, but I understand why some men would be a little uncomfortable because it's extremely difficult
Right.
providing for all of the bills. And
Right.
usually men who don't make as much money,
Right.
you know, they could be very challenged. But how I look at it, you just sum up all of the responsibilities you have both as a unit, and you split it up individually. Who does best at this and who does best at this, and y'all just collaborate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you should say that because I saw there was this meme floating around where it was like, I think the lady was saying like, a man can't pay for my, if a man can't pay all my bills or something like that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
It
I
was
think
like
I
that
saw
meme.
that
It was
one
like
too.
that
I
meme.
think
Like,
I saw
then I
that.
don't want him,
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
you
So
should be if you can't
pay my
all the
bills, then you don't
yeah.
need a wife.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, maybe I can't pay half. We can't go half. We can't do half. Okay, but I understand Stephen's perspective to an extent. I feel like in our society today, if you look at the news and what's going on in our country, a lot of young men, it's sad to say, committing suicide. They have these mental issues that they're dealing with that nobody really talks about. And I think it does come from this kind of pressure, this idea of what a man is.
Okay.
So I say that to say, there is definitely a pressure to be a provider, most men, let me not say most, let me not generalize because I don't have statistics, but I can take a good guess that a lot of men in our country, they feel this great debt that they have to, I gotta take care of and most times it's self-inflicted.
Right.
It's not like
Most
women,
times, right.
but there is a pressure there. I think there's a pressure.
And I think for them, like from some of the posts I've created, a lot of them are just pretty much saying like, if the female is out working too, like what's she doing with her funds? Like, really? I supposed to hurt my head paying all the bills and stuff like that?
I'll say this: if he's not taking the full load, he should take the majority. That's
Right.
just how I feel. Because
I'm
let me.
You're old school.
I'm a very traditional
Sure.
woman.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know I'm young, but I'm very traditional with certain things,
That's
and I
cool.
think that has to do with the way I was raised.
It just
Because
works.
the way I was raised, like my dad, he handled the bills, and that was like every Friday, like we know money would be on the dining room table. So because as soon as he walks in the door, he rests the funds. Then my mommy would handle whatever bills
And I'm
needed to
sure
be
he took
handled.
pride in that.
He did, and
Right.
that's why for me, like, I don't really want to do we're talking about 50-50. Not as, and to be honest,
Okay.
it's not as if like it doesn't work for some people because I have
Yeah.
friends that are married and some go 50-50. Some husbands pay everything; they don't know what a bill is,
Sure, sure.
Right.
and some, they probably would just pay cable and
Sure,
whatever
sure.
other like bills.
Pick up the slack.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, entering a relationship and a dude coming out the gate, he's not even going to try telling me, oh, he wants a woman who goes 50-50.
Well, I don't think.
that ain't my type dude.
I don't think no man would say that out the gate. I think the reality is that he would either he can't, and that's what I was about to ask you. So, what if he just can't go 100%? So,
Right.
is he void of your love? That
No,
it's like,
and okay,
know.
if we're just dating or
Well,
like if we're in a committed relationship,
Sure.
this is how my mom operated.
Sure.
There were moments when my dad didn't have a job and my mom handled stuff.
Sure.
So even though he was covering the bills, like she wasn't just loose with her finances.
No.
She was saving up. She was doing what she had to do
For
to
sure.
make sure the family still runs and operates
There
as
you go.
right.
That's a
Right,
responsibility in
exactly.
itself,
So
yeah.
for me, I don't want to. I'm not just talking about. Oh, I want a man just to pay the bills and stuff. No, I know how to function as a woman because at the end of the day, what if you take sick? What if something happens to you? All those things you have to look at. And for me, I think men have to just be careful with the type of women they get involved with because sometimes you do get involved with a woman that's just for her, all about her, and I want to see stuff hit the fan, right?
Right.
And then what? The family goes under.
Yeah,
no one,
I agree.
nothing to function. So, but if you have someone, what and I think that's where when it comes into being a helpmate to your man, to your husband, and that's what it's about. But for me, in this day and time, the new generation mentality of men out there, they're telling you out the gate, 50-50. Some, but I would never date them. So they for everybody else. I would never date them.
She don't want y'all.
I don't believe in that. I think everyone's probably know that. All right. So next, do you believe? Well, we talk about the basic provision of a man.
Right.
Do you believe that every man is born a leader?
No.
You
No.
don't?
No, there's better.
I
don't think all men are leaders. I think some men are called to leadership, some stumble upon it, and some just have to take the back seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Some people aren't meant to lead.
Yeah, all of us can't
Sorry.
be chiefs. Some of us have to be Indians.
So in that same regard, what about females? Do you believe that every female should be a mother, should be a wife?
If every female should be.
Oh, you're right.
Well,
Because they're female, because they're a woman. Because okay, as women, there's this thing that you have to be you should be a mother. You should be a wife.
Well,
Do you believe that every female has the ability or has qualities of a wife or a mother?
I'll say biologically yes.
Yeah.
yeah. But no.
Right.
You know, some people aren't. Some women aren't meant to be mothers.
Not terrible mothers.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
On my
Awful.
way here, there was this lady. She's walking with her daughter, with her 2 daughters, and the little girl was must be about 10 paces behind her. Couldn't be more than 5 years old, and I was like, wow.
You right?
Crazy.
You
Right.
So-
Like anybody could snatch that child up.
Yep.
So you just like want to grab them and just
Shake
shake them.
them.
Do a better job.
So have any of you ever dated women with children or with a child?
Yes.
Yes.
And what was that experience like for you?
It changed my perspective. When I first came in, I was very, I wouldn't say very resistant to it, but it wasn't my ideal situation. But over time, you learn to love everything about her and her child, or after a while, it doesn't become a factor at all. But more often than not, I understand why a lot of guys don't necessarily want to date a woman with a child because you're never a priority. And as selfish as that sounds, when you're with somebody, you want to be, the first person, that they think of and stuff like that. But no, for me, to wrap it up, it's not a problem for me at all.
No, I don't think it's a problem. It wasn't a problem for me. It made me grow up.
Yeah.
I grew up.
Once baby daddy don't come around freaking out.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Once
yeah,
you know
yeah,
that.
yeah, once
But-
you cool that.
But what about dealing with a guy that you have to, the co-parenting part of it, that ever bothered you in the relationship? Or it was never a situation where the father was around like that?
Well, my experience was lousy anyway. So.
Okay. Oh.
Well, I didn't have such experience. I think for me, what it was is like, different ideals kind of seep in, and you have to kind of take a back seat because, like Stephen said, you're not priority. So the check your own ego at the door is like, yeah, that's my opinion, but I could pull back. That ain't necessary.
Awesome. So you're watching Sofa Talk, Guy Talk. Where are the real women? We'll be right back. We'll be right back after the break. not holding it back. You're watching Guy Talk. Where are the real women? So, fellas, tell me about, I guess, your perception on women today.
You want to take that one, buddy? You want to
Your
take that
honest
one?
perception of women today when it comes to dating.
Okay.
My honest perception of women today when it comes to dating, I think more often they're a lot more demanding
Okay.
than ever. I think they're more or less no nonsense. I think they put a lot of stipulations in regards to deadline. Okay, if by this time we're not serious, then they take the fun out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Out of the
Interesting.
dating.
Out of the dating, right?
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
necessarily saying you need to be slack or anything like that
Right.
and just have sex with everybody. I don't even know why I introduced that so soon. But
Just jump right in.
yeah, no. But what I am saying is they're not as lax with it.
Yeah.
They're very serious and
Yeah.
they're like, no, they don't want to waste any
Yeah.
time whatsoever.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
everything is serious. Like, okay,
It's serious.
we need to talk for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's be committed in the next 2
Right.
months.
By the
And
time
let's
we
get
could-
married by the end of the year.
By the
type
time
thing.
we come out of this movies, you need to let me know if we can. Like, we ain't even talk.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's something we have to look out for. What about you, Matt?
For me, I think it's this idea that, like, out the gate, I have to be this extremely interesting person, like amazing, and it's
I
like
mean, you should.
Superman.
I mean, you
want to
should,
win her
yeah,
over, like,
obviously, right?
you know?
So that's
ladies,
great.
don't worry. I got
That's
y'all. I'm gonna
great.
hold it
No,
down for
no.
y'all,
See,
okay?
that's great. All of that is great,
Uh-huh.
you know. But it's kind of like that. The give and take of that is like, you know, in most cases, in my own experience, is like, I'm sure you're getting that from me, but I'm sitting there thinking what book I can read later because you're not that interested.
Ooh.
So I will say, like, that's something I've noticed is
Right.
because more more attention is paid to the presentation of who you are,
Right,
like
right.
how you look and stuff like that, and that's great because, you know, the stimulus is there, but you start to talking and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So, you know, but of course there are women who are, you know, very intelligent, obviously. You know, I guess you just have to weed through
Yeah, I think I've heard that one before. That women, I think Paul said it. You know, like, be present. If we're on a date, be present with me. He said, you know, sometimes he's encountered women that would actually be on their phone while they're
yeah.
on a date,
Yeah.
or
That's
they
so
would just
disrespectful.
you
Yeah.
think so? All
That
right,
is
so
fair.
ladies, stay out of your phones. I believe.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is, if you're out on a date, you should want to engage with the person because, like, in that moment, you
That's
should
the
take
purpose
advantage.
of us
Right,
being here.
right.
Like, if you wanted to be in your phone, we could have had a text message. I could have stayed home and text message
Right.
you, and we could have watched the same movie.
Right.
You know, we could have ordered separate meals, and, you know, we could have just
Nobody,
over
get
the
to
phone.
know one another.
nobody does that,
Right.
Stephen. What do you-
Right? No.
Right.
Like,
But-
don't be disrespectful with
I
it.
feel you.
And you're also saying they need to be engaging.
Yeah.
Because I think, for real, a lot of the pressure is on you men to entertain us. Because
Yeah.
it's like, we are the ones you have to win over.
You're the prize, right?
Right.
So you're the prize.
I'm a
so-
prize.
I think I'm a prize. Right? I think I'm a prize. You
Right.
know?
What's this all about?
I'm out here
being
printing.
one-sided?
I'm out here
Yeah.
printing comic
Yeah.
books, man. Like that's
Yeah.
interesting. Like, what do you do? You know, I'm. I just
Don't
open
be
it up.
petty.
I'm
Don't
not
be
trying to be
petty.
petty. I'm just saying, you know, like.
But I believe that it is a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
You should be engaging, or you should know how to. I think you should know how to keep a man's attention. I think a lot of women lose the art of that, and they believe that, you know, their beauty should just have them captivated, but not realizing that it's also what comes out of their mouth at the same time on the date, and their personality. Because I don't know if you guys have experienced it, that you saw a woman that, like, just struck your very instinct.
yeah.
Everything about you.
Yeah.
She just was amazing. But the minute she opened her mouth, it was like, ooh,
Yeah.
nah.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
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 Don't put. If you put emphasis on the beauty and only that, then we get caught up in that. And when we
Right.
get caught up in that, that becomes problematic, right?
No, but I mean, if you do that, if I was a guy, right?
Mhm.
If I was a guy, I wouldn't care too much because I'll be too busy just trying to knock everyone down. Like, you know?
then that would
Really?
make you a
Like,
terrible
I
guy.
know it would.
Yeah.
I know it
You
would.
would be
I know it
a
would,
awful
right?
guy.
And that's why I think, you know, God was like, you know what? This one has to be a female.
Gotcha. I got you.
All right, so, fellas, have you ever experienced the $40 women? And be honest with me, because I've had guys told me to create a post about this, women asking them for $40, and they wanted me to
Oh.
ask them. I mean, to find out what was the significance of it, but I don't know. Wow, what is
that
$40?
That
I
is
don't-
funny.
$40?
That is hilarious because the $40 doesn't necessarily have to be $40, right? Like the $40 could be a phone card.
Yeah.
The $40 could be buy me something to eat. And
$40 for a
and,
snack.
and you
Wow.
and the thing is
$40
the thing is
snack.
now if I'm understanding your question or the thing you're saying, it's like this idea of we getting to know each other and you asking for stuff so early on,
Right.
you know?
Okay, that's a turn off.
It is a turn
Yeah.
on.
No, but just if you're gonna do that, just come out as a prostitute. Hey, I'm selling. You know, I would like $40. Let's make this exchange.
But-
like, don't beat around the bush. Like, eventually, I can know you want $40.
You think they're having sex for $40?
That's what you just said.
I mean,
if I
No,
have
I think
experience
she-
of
I don't know what they
$40 woman,
are doing with the $40.
Okay, I think maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe I think maybe
what's a
they
$40 woman then? Let's
Yeah, like,
let's
what
do
do you-
some
what do you
housekeeping. What's a $40 woman?
I don't know. I have to make the post.
Just
Find
women who
out.
ask for $40.
Women who ask for $40 in the dating process.
To
like
have
they
sex.
not only to
Not
have
sex,
it's
but just a
I
means of-
think maybe too.
It gotta be
It's
that.
because no, they try to test the man to see if they're cheap or not,
To see if
right?
they're
cheap.
Right. Or if they're giving, right? Because let's look at it. I guess they don't want to ask for 50 because 50 seems too much.
Okay.
$30 seems too little.
I mean, that would be the biggest turn off for me.
Yeah.
Because if you start to ask for handouts right out the gate,
Right, right.
like, obviously, I'm going to feel like you're just going to use me.
Right, right.
So, like, I'm not going to be interested after that. I mean, like, you don't have a job? Like, you
That's
can't-
such a
like, you
turn
can't
off.
find
Right.
Like
$40.
if you didn't meet me, like you just needed $40 so bad.
Like,
Ladies,
just ask.
you're hearing them.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
I
ask for
feel
$40.
like
I have $40. I can give it to
sure,
you.
I can give you
But
that
don't,
all
like,
day,
beat
every
around
day.
the bush and waste my time.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's a bad presentation. If even for like no dude would be like imagine the opposite of that. Me just asking you for sex right out the gate, right? You'd be like unless you down for that, you'd be like.
Yeah,
That's a
'cause
red
they're-
flag, right? That's the same for us. That's a red
Yeah,
flag.
it is
You
a
asking
red-
me for money
Right,
already?
right. I agree. So, ladies, you hear that? Don't ask them for $40. Don't ask them for
No.
50. Don't ask them for nothing, especially if you're just dating.
Oh, let me clarify.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, we're putting too much emphasis on $40,
Yeah,
right?
because it's not even
Generally,
that.
yeah, it's not even $40. I can get $40 anywhere. But you're just talking about generally women who are asking for money outside of the gate, right? Yeah, no.
It's
No.
not a good
It's-
thing.
it's-
No.
No, it's not a good thing.
Cut it.
Unless you really need help,
Right.
then go to a family member or something.
Sure, right? Why would it be
Yeah.
me?
Well,
you just
or- or
met
get
me.
a loan or something
You,
like
you
that.
just met
Get
me.
a loan.
Like
Get a
why
loan,
would it?
yeah.
Why would it be me? And then that is indicative of how we carry on. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cheap. Why did I just
Yeah.
meet you? So I
Right.
don't know.
So,
Weird.
ladies, you heard the men. Don't ask them for any coins.
No, that's not true.
No, let me finish.
Let her
That's
finish.
not true.
Let her finish.
That's
Let
not
me
true.
finish.
I'm not saying don't ask for nothing.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. But if right out the gate, if that's what you're all about, then
Say it.
say it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And be upfront.
Right.
It would surprise you how much men out there looking for $40 women
Okay.
just to give you $40 in exchange for sexual favors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not one of them. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of guys out there that are looking for that discounted rate.
Okay, awesome. So, ladies, there you have it. At the end of the day, if you're just dating, right? Is it okay if I say that? If you're just dating and getting to know the guy, don't ask him for anything yet. I have to look at Steven because Steven is about
Yeah,
to say
no,
no.
yeah. He's about to jump down your throat.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask for anything out the gate. You know, I believe, like you said, both of you said, it's the getting to know process. At the end of the day, if these men wasn't in your lives, what would you do? Miles asked that question. You
Find
know what I
another
mean?
man.
Find someone else.
Yeah.
Find the next guy.
But pretty much dating is getting to know. So they don't really want you asking them for coins. But do you men have a problem assisting?
Absolutely not.
No way. Of course not.
So
I don't have a
Miles-
problem. I don't have a problem assisting
No, never.
whatsoever. Matter of fact, like it goes back to our initial question. I take pride in that.
Okay.
Even if you're just my girlfriend, I take pride in like
Yeah.
making sure that you're straight. You know.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just another friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
I
Yeah.
I
couldn't
like,
agree.
I like that.
Couldn't agree
I
more.
like that.
Couldn't agree
Because
more.
otherwise, like, who are you in my
Really,
life?
really,
like, you're
like,
just
yeah,
another male friend.
No,
for real.
seriously, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, It
Okay.
should be about the well-being of a.
So, how do you feel about going on dates with females and asking them to go 50-50 on the date? Because, you know, okay, one,
Is this our first date?
this is your first date.
No, okay. No, I'm just saying I get a better perspective now. Not gonna answer that right away.
Hold on, wait. So
No,
after the first date,
no.
she has to go 50-50?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, that's what I'm suggesting. I'm saying if it's the first date and I was the one who asked or if I saw interest, like, yeah, I'd spend the whole thing and go all out. But I'm saying, like, if there's a series of dates and you're like, hey, you know, we going back to this thing again, you know, you mind bringing a little? I can understand that. I'm not saying that's my stance on that, but I can understand that.
You could understand a guy telling a female, you know, bring some coins with her to help cover the date.
Why not? I mean, if that's where he's at, then that's where he's at. It all comes down to, you want to be with this guy, and if all he got is $50 and y'all trying to have a $100 meal, bring your 50.
Okay. Okay. Steven laughs. Steven, how do you feel about that?
Steven, you know that.
I didn't know. Like me,
would you ask a female to split a bill 50-50? Y'all go in, you know?
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's
just me.
Steven is
right.
is privileged, okay?
That has nothing. I don't think it has nothing to do with being privileged.
Sharing,
even
splitting is for the peasants.
Like if we haven't, because every once in a while a woman could treat a guy.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Yeah. Even then I feel uncomfortable. Like my girl could tell you that, and all of my exes could tell you that too. Like I feel really uncomfortable receiving gifts. That's just how I grew up.
Sure.
And so. No. I'll pay for everything. I got it. It's fine.
Okay. But what if you don't got it, Steven?
What if I don't? Then we don't need to go out.
Right,
okay, no.
Right, but I think when okay, for example, if you're in a committed relationship, right? This is how I feel, right? What you give to me, I magnify that, right? Or I multiply it.
Sure.
If we're constantly going out on dates and you're treating me and doing all these amazing stuff and you don't have it, I got you.
Okay.
I think what men have to realize is that you only get what you give. And if you treat a woman cheaply, you're going to get cheap responses.
This is where I disagree.
And when I say cheaply, I'm not only talking about with finances, you know. I'm not talking about the amount you spend.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the time you put in.
The effort,
the effort, everything, all of that. That's what I'm talking about.
Because I didn't agree with that cheap part.
No.
Because if you...
Mars isn't cheap.
Yeah,
no. She's not even talking about me. But I'm saying like that.
Generally.
Yeah,
right, but if you go, like for example, you asked if it was the first date. Guys now don't want to spend money on a first date or first expensive date because it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time taking you to five, right? Yeah, sure, you know, so they're now looking at cheaper dates, like coffee dates. I don't do coffee dates. If you take me out, we're going out on a date.
What's wrong with coffee?
I don't do coffee dates.
Like I could be the worst.
I don't like coffee. Like, but I can't say that. I can't say that.
I got like 5
Nah, if Idris Alba asks you to go and get coffee, you ain't going with him?
No. But if Odell Beckham does, yeah.
You're going for coffee. So it seems to me.
It depends on who it is.
If this boy fine, you go in.
No.
Yeah.
He can take you for bamboo, right?
No.
He can take you for bamboo.
No. I don't think he has me. It's not happening. It's not happening. You know, it's not happening. But I wouldn't do a coffee date. But I know women that would go on a coffee date. Not to say that a coffee date is cheap or whatever.
Sure.
But they may like coffee. I think it all depends on getting to know the female you're interested in. Because for me, I wouldn't appreciate a coffee date, but if you take me to on an ice cream date, I'll appreciate that. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. So it just depends on, you know.
I got on Tuesday Dairy Queen. They have free.
No, healthy.
You got wait in line, boy.
Ben and Jerry's.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
those my spots. Or you could be amazing and book a trip to Orlando and take me to Cold Stone. That's my favorite. That's my favorite ice cream spot. You know,
sorry.
You know what I mean?
For someone I'm dating?
Yes, just be amazing. Just, you know, do those wonderful stuff and be like, boom, meet me at the airport.
That sounds like a bad investment.
No, it's
not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if I put that in investment, if I put that in like financial terms, that sounds like you're going to go bankrupt.
No.
If I go and invest in every company down the road, I can be broke.
Not every company I like, but like, you know, she loves ice cream. Like, that's a dope date.
Yeah. But the whole liking ice cream is you're the company who working in computers, and I like, let me go put my thousands of dollars in that, and you go bankrupt. That's my analogy.
Mars just killed my dream date. You know, he just killed it out. All right, so guys, in reference to you know, where are the real women? Okay. Do you feel like a woman that wears makeup and weave isn't a real woman, or shouldn't be asking for a real man?
What? that is so weird. Like
it's not weird because you have guys. Okay,
fair enough.
Tall boy boys don't talk about this? No?
Well, okay.
Like, okay, for example,
Okay,
like if you
you know
see,
what?
I've seen several posts complaining about, women always asking for real men.
One
So,
of them
But
is like
yet-
man.
She's actually right,
Because
She's
these
right.
women always asking for real
Yeah,
men, but they
yeah,
have
yeah,
on,
yeah,
they
yeah.
wear makeup,
No.
they wear weave,
All
and
that
it's all these
superficial.
little silly stuff.
Yeah, no.
And it's
All that.
like, so
It's the
what?
same thing like you wearing Jordans and stuff like
Right.
that, or buying polo to cover up your insecurity. It
I-
doesn't matter.
But
to
I
me,
will
like,
say
if you
there
wear
are.
makeup.
I don't subscribe to this perspective, but I have some friends that they ain't close friends. Let me clarify, they ain't close friends. You know what I'm saying? But I have some friends who have that mindset, like, oh, you can't tell this girl hair is fake, is fake. They really believe that stuff. They really believe that all of that stuff ain't real, and that's the worth of you, right? And when you talk to them, often you hear the same kind of answers. It's like, Mom, when I go home, I gotta take this off, pull that off, wipe that off, and I gotta look at you. But what's interesting is the guys who saying this, right? They ugly. Now ask yourself this, right? Now ask yourself this. If you, I'm just saying, ask yourself this, and this is why I asked them, if you could cover up a little piece of that ugly you get, would you not do it? And these dudes, yeah, I got my eyes fixed, my teeth fixed. It's like, that's all it is.
Right.
But I would say this though,
But I don't think-
like don't go overboard with the makeup where I can't recognize you
Right.
after you take it off.
Right.
Like that's sorcery at that point.
Man, you gotta go all in, Steven.
No.
No.
Like, I think a lot of guys are lean more towards that. It's like, if you're going to wear the makeup, like, don't be a completely different person.
Sure,
You understand?
sure.
But I
Like,
really do.
still be easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have on light makeup.
Yeah, but
you
everybody
know?
could appreciate a woman who could just roll out of bed and be just gone. When you
Yeah,
gotta put on
yeah,
no makeup
yeah,
or nothing like
yeah.
that.
But,
Everybody
you know.
could appreciate that. I understand that. But a little bit of makeup and weave.
Man,
That's
that's,
nothing.
man, it looks great. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
right, yeah.
What's going on?
So that doesn't equate to a woman not being a real woman.
No,
No, not
that's
to
superficial
me.
stuff.
Okay, sounds good. So, fellas, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how important is oral sex to you?
I gauging this right now. I don't even know. Go first, buddy.
1
Go
to
for
10, 10 being the what?
The highest.
The highest and most
Like you,
important.
right.
Personally, me on the receiving or the
That's true. It's a
giving
good-
in?
yeah,
What are we talking about? Oral sex. All right.
Receiving.
Receiving. Okay. She giving me it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. 0.
Oh, you don't like it?
I never.
You're different.
Yeah.
I guess he don't.
Which is a good thing.
I know.
He don't speak for us.
I don't speak for everybody. No.
He don't speak for
No,
us.
No, but there are
Um,
some. There are. Okay, I'm not alone on this.
Yeah.
Right. You got some fellas out there who just.
Just
like,
don't- right.
Right. You know what I mean? But
I met this guy. He's a friend of mine, and we met through a mutual friend, and he was talking about his experience why he doesn't like it, and that's why I'm asking. You know, he had a terrible experience where the chick, she had braces,
Oh God.
and he ended up.
Wow.
You know.
Well, that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I'm not traumatized.
Usually, right.
I'm not-
Usually, when it's like that, you know, they're traumatized.
Yeah, not
No,
me.
I
You want to change
let
that
me go
number,
up
buddy?
that.
Yeah, you want to change that number, buddy?
I don't want to take it off.
Because then now you say that on camera, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
don't wanna
can't
take it off.
ever
Take it
ask
back.
for that. You can't ask for
I
that.
don't want to take it off the table.
Right.
But
right.
maybe, yeah.
I'll say a
And it's not that,
strong.
it's just not that important.
It's not that important
Yeah.
to me, no.
Mad.
I'd say a strong 7.
A strong 7.
Very
Okay.
strong 7.
All right.
Yeah, you know, it like,
Yeah.
30% is not
I
that
feel like
big
you're
a
giving up too
deal.
much of my information. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
boy.
know, that's what the soap is about.
That's
You
all
just
right,
gotta
that's
keep
all right.
it, you
Yeah.
know, 100. All right, so fellas, I have to ask you guys something. How can a woman spot a guy who is only seeking to waste her time, smash and dash? How can she point that out from the gate?
That is the most difficult question I've ever. That is
That's
hard.
difficult to ask.
That's not difficult to ask.
I mean,
It's
not
difficult to
ask, answer.
because dude's cunning. Like I gotta give them credit because that is something. Though. Like you, I know that.
You
I'm
don't-
sorry.
Okay, no. Okay.
Let's back up.
But I like your
general rule.
honesty because
No,
you, like you said, men are crafty.
No, but those men are like outliers, like, because we messy at cheating, right? You could, it's some cardinal points. Number one, y'all ain't going nowhere. And if y'all going anywhere, y'all taking a ride out west to get some ice cream in the car and park on the beach.
Okay.
That's rule number one.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
And I want,
Shameless.
like, give out too much information because a fella and his girl may be watching this.
That's true. That's true.
No, give
Right?
it to them so they can know.
So if they waste any time, they just don't ever talk about the future or nothing like that. It's
Right.
just always about, what's
Present.
now.
Right.
The now.
Yeah. That's the
But
rule
that's
number one
where
for me.
your cunning
Okay.
guy
Yeah.
wins, because your cunning guy knows that. So
Right.
he can lay
He
it
can
out.
sell a
He can
dream.
sell a dream. Like if I trying to steal, like I ain't just coming in and thieving.
Yeah.
I have a plan. So, if fella coming there to
finesse
steal you, that's what he gonna do.
All
So,
right.
I don't know. It's
All right, guys. So, ladies, on that note, the fellas say they can't really help us on that one, but you can also, you can take note of a guy that just talking about the here and now. There's no future. You don't have a conversation come up with.
You're
a
going out
future
west
guy.
to go get ice cream and go pop.
It's always out west.
If you find yourself in that
Say
situation,
why it's always a
It
west.
always out west.
it's always because it's just like
High
the-
class.
Yeah,
that's
high
the,
class.
That's the pitch.
Like, that's what we selling a dream.
selling
You know?
that.
Look at this house, baby. We can be in that one day, but we only gonna stay right in this car and eat your little ice cream on the beach, and then I can carry you home. Anyway,
Don't go out west.
don't go west of them.
We'll be right back after the break.
Possible when you put God first. Pat the trainer down the train you if you need you a trainer. Pat the trainer down the train you if you need you a trainer. Pat the trainer down the train you if you need you a trainer. Pat the trainer down the train you if you need you a trainer.
You can find us on Instagram at mr.active242 or activefitness.club. Also, Facebook at activefitness242. Our telephone number is 636-8886.
Yo, salute to the cube.
Telling
All right,
you.
guys, welcome back to Silver Talk, and you're watching Guy Talk. And we're about to, before we get into Never Have I Ever, fellas, I have another question for you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
How can men identify a real woman? Someone they can have a potential future with.
Well, this one is actually pretty easy for me. I think anyone who could conversate about real things, real issues, whether that be political, environmental, her passion, her ambition, and just have a realness about her. And when we say that real, with that word real, what that means to me,
I was about that.
yeah,
What is
it's
real?
just
Real.
authentic. It's like this is who you are. There's not a front. There's not a sham. This is who you is. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're perfect or
Right,
you're
right.
good at a thing. You're just honest. So I think if you find those qualities in a woman, then you have yourself a real woman. And, that's just someone who can be honest. Oh, I don't have this. She's being honest. This is where I'm at. She's being honest. So if you see someone with those qualities, you got yourself a real one.
Yeah, okay. What about you?
A winner for me is a lady who generally gives you warmth and a sense of peace. Like, she makes you feel at peace, And when I say it, for example, something really terrible happens to you that day, she's the first person you want to call. Or something
Right.
really good happens that day, she's the first person you want to call. So she's just like the first person on your mind in any event in life. So that's a winner
That's
for me.
beautiful.
Yeah, that
That's good,
right there
that's
is key, because if you're the person they want to share great news with or having a bad day, you know you in for
Yeah.
life.
That's a good one.
All right, so I have one more question. I
Sure,
have to
sure,
ask it.
sure.
What should women bring to the table? What should a woman bring to the table from dating into marriage?
Okay.
Because, men are saying you can't just bring vagina to the table no more.
No, bring
I
that.
mean, that could come.
Yeah, bring that.
that could come. But,
Steven, bring that.
Bring that.
but yeah, I think right. You say dating into marriage,
Hold
right?
on, but you said it with such a straight face.
Yeah, bring that.
Because anyway, I can even say that. But I understand what Stephen get that. Yeah, like you say, okay, you say from dating straight to marriage. Right? I think. Wait, say the question again. I just want to make sure.
What should women bring
Right.
to the table?
Bring to the table. Okay, that's a loaded. You want to go first, buddy? Let me think about this before I put my foot in my mouth.
First now, let me think.
Before I put my foot in my mouth. Look, I generally want to say honesty, right?
Okay,
Because
honesty.
the thing is with that word, it's like there's a truth about it. Like if you coming out the gate telling me who you are, you're presenting who you are, and it's realness, then I know what I'm dealing with. And that's the dating phase, right? So I know who you are, flaws and all. And as we work into the marriage and becoming equally yoked and all of that beautiful stuff, it's like I need you to, as we both evolve, there are more things I require, you know. And of course, those are the things you would require from me too. Like you know, said earlier, be a provider, which is, I understand that. So yeah, there would be
But
things.
you still sound like a 50-50 dude.
Hey, listen, I never presented myself. You see how she go, right? I never presented myself as a 50-50 dude. I was speaking for y'all 50-50 dudes.
Okay.
Y'all leave me out to defend yourself.
Okay, all right.
So no, but but no, as we get into marriage, I just feel like, you know, the more pressures come into the world, and the more we face together, you know, bring a sense of peace. I agree with Stephen 100%. Like, nobody wants to be berated and be told about their failures all the time. And I watched that stuff happen with my dad. You know, that's not fun. You know, you know, if you can bring up someone's failure, chances are they already know.
Oh, wow.
So don't bring it up. You know, they already know. You know, help them, help me, rather than just
be the help me.
You know, so I think that's where I'd go.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
You agree with him?
Yeah, I agree. You got to bring a sense of peace for sure. That's the number one in my book. And you also got to bring good counsel and loyalty above all.
Awesome. So give him peace and be his peace. I have you.
I just get it. Okay.
All right, guys. Y'all ready for Never Have I Ever?
Yeah, sure.
Ready?
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever. So once you've done it, you have to drink.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Y'all want me to give y'all a little test run?
Yeah,
Or you
sure.
all good?
Sure.
Okay.
Test run.
Never have
Make
I
a
ever
fool.
been caught in a lie.
What?
Never have I ever been caught in a
So
lie.
I drink if I
drink, yeah.
was caught in a
If
lie.
you were caught in a lie.
Oh, I can drink.
So drink.
So drink. He was clearly caught in a lie. I can say.
All right, so now y'all ready for it?
Yes.
Never have I ever slept with a married woman. If you
That's
have
true.
done it, drink. Gee, you are a terrible person.
Hey.
Never have I ever engaged in anal foreplay. Y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
That we know.
Okay. Never have I ever slept with one of my boys' mom. Stephen had this disgust look on his face. I can't look at you, Stephen. Never have I ever slept with one of my boys' mom.
No.
No, you can't say no, Stephen.
No.
Okay, tell me about that time. You have to tell me about that moment.
Hey, my boy.
Drink me.
No,
Is it
my
my
boy.
No?
Huh? I mean, I end up knowing him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my boy.
Take a sip, sir.
I
Take a
mean,
sip.
I am not sipping to
no,
that.
Okay.
he's not your boy. Okay.
I can
Okay.
run out of juice.
Wow.
Like, bring the cotton.
Never have I ever sent a eggplant picture.
The emoji, right?
Say emoji.
No, you know what the emoji
Yes,
represents.
I understand. Yeah, all the time, like to my girl. Yeah,
Okay.
like,
It's not like it's not unsolicited.
yeah.
Never have I ever.
Like you hungry?
Never have I ever had sex with two women in one day. Stephen is so terrible.
I had to think,
That's easy.
which is
Yeah.
bad enough.
Everybody could toast to that.
What you mean?
You see me toasting over your buddy?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's not the same woman?
No.
No. Two women.
Oh, well, yeah.
No. That's common.
That's
Everybody been to that once. I'm not saying it happens every day. I'm saying that you at least been to that like before.
a guy. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
Within
female.
24
No
hours.
judgment. No judgment.
Yeah, within 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
No judgment,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like a pastor's son in this one.
You gotta pour your juice in.
All
Yeah.
right. The final one. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Never have I ever been caught cheating.
Wait, what?
Never have I ever been caught cheating. Or was caught
This is
cheating.
the last question.
So if I don't drink, that means
You have never been caught cheating.
but by default you're saying I'm a cheater. But if I do drink,
If you were caught cheating, please drink.
I've never been caught cheating. but I don't cheat. So, where's the third option?
No third option.
My third option. I am a decent human being.
Clearly. And Stephen? Stephen, you're about to drink my ice away. All right, guys. So there you have it. Guy talk. Where are the real women? Fellas, before we go, give the females one advice. What is one advice you could give females?
One advice to give females. Maz, take it over.
Oh, Stephen.
I can answer. I can answer.
Go get your driver's license. I'm serious.
You started picking females up.
I'm just saying, it's like.
Find a passion and stick to it.
Oh, great. You can throw that in after my
Yeah,
goofy.
Yeah, after this goofy.
It's like a doctor.
You know
I'm
what
trying
I
to be funny, right?
mean? No, we be trying to help the
Okay,
ladies
okay,
out.
seriously. Let me
What is
give an
one
honest.
advice you would
Let me
leave
give an
to the
honest.
You mean in
Uh-huh.
regards to relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that one. Fine.
All right, in regards to relationship.
Let me be honest then. Let me don't be goofy. Ladies.
Be deep.
What?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, yeah, we getting into Deep Creek. Ladies, be honest with yourself, like Steven say. And if you ain't looking for a real man, don't waste a real man time. Because I know women like to cry about not a lot of good men, and to some degree that is true. But we have a lot of good men too, and their time is get wasted plenty. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's it?
Follow your gut feeling, man. If we talking about relationships, right? If you feel like that boy cheating, like it the red flags are there. Look at them
There you have
and
it.
follow it.
All right, ladies. So the fellas, they was raw and real with you. So take their advice. Thanks for watching. Bye.